souls. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. When I remember Buhari, water on our way, my yo. Water on our way, my. When I remember Mahmoud, water on our way, my yo. Water on our way, my. When I remember the rigging, water on our way, my yo. Water on our way, my. Water on our way, my. Water on our way, my yo. Water on our way, my. Comrades, yes. Great Nigerian people, grace. The indomitable young spirit of Nigeria, grace. Free Nigeria movement, grace. Ever conscious bobo, ever conscious baba. Today we have come here to address the press. We are here on behalf of the youthful energy of Nigeria. Different CSOs, NGOs, youth groups, angry women, women in black, women in red, people from all over the country. Different support groups across religious lines, party lines. Just people who are truly Nigerians. The burden of justice and the urgency of the balm of hope on battered public trust. This is the title of the press statement by the Free Nigeria Movement, read on Monday, 8th May 2023. The Presidential Election Petition Court began its sitting today, the 8th of May 2023, at the Court of Appeal, Abuja, with Nigerians sitting with variegated expectations. For a vast majority of Nigerians, the expectation is for the conduct of proceedings to follow the rules of justice, equity, fairness, without any interruption or slightest detour from due process. For others, it may be that the court uphold the declaration of the Independent Electoral Commission. This is the feeling on the street, even in this room, and brings to focus the emotional numbness that engulfed the nation on the 1st of March 2023. When the winner of the presidential election was announced, such declarations were often accompanied by explosive outbursts and carnival-type jubilation. But contrary to the unusual, Nigeria stood still. For us at the Free Nigeria Movement, the stillness was a protest against injustice. Nigerians have been brutalized on all sides by the political elite, who insist on holding on to power with gravely callous methods. To them, power is worth more than the blood and water. So they deploy all sorts of vile means such as voter intimidation and suppression, snatching of ballot boxes to remain in power. While we bemoan the fraud of the election, it is important to reflect on what is true. There is no doubt that our democracy has come of age. However, it is important to look beyond the nomenclature and definitions of how Nigerians have been cheated along the lines of transition. Hardly has there been an election without malpractices since the return of democracy in 1999. The mortal cost also has been enormous, with local and international observers calling for reforms. But we have no challenge of laws in Nigeria. What we have is a challenge of character. Had Professor Mahmoud Yakubu the tiniest of strand of character, he would have saved Nigeria the embarrassment of the current embryo. The electoral umpire, INEC, under the watch, has demonstrated crass regard for our laws, including the Electoral Act of 2022 as amended, and has recently deployed the skill of crying more than the bereaved in the manner it has responded to petitions by aggrieved political parties and candidates. If public institutions fail at this pace, we may not have a country in the next decade. But Nigeria is more important to all of us. We owe every duty to defend and uphold her dignity, which is conferred by adherence to law by all. The judiciary warehouses a large chunk of this commitment. The role of the judiciary, as encapsulated in a quote by a foremost United States civil rights activist, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., there can be no justice without peace, and no peace without justice. It is unsure the validity of citizens' trust and the effectiveness of social peace. It is therefore the stabilizing rod between the citizenry and the government. The judges at the Presidential Election Petition Court, PEPC, are well aware of this enormous outburst of this political consciousness in Nigeria during the last elections, especially the presidential elections of the 25th of February 2023, and the apathy that was witnessed in the gubernatorial election that followed. This should be a cause of concern to them and all the Nigerians for that matter, and should guide their travel in advocating on the matter before them. As of today, they have the most difficult job in the land, but an honorable one. As they listen to petitions, the conscience of Nigeria will be waiting outside the walls of the courtroom with the account it will give posterity to their names. We urge them to do the right thing for Nigeria, and not for any political party or candidate. The Chief Justice of Nigeria must ensure that the judges are given the right support and independence to decide on the cases without any kind of interference or inducement. The judges must look beyond technicalities and base their decisions on the path that bequeaths the best outcome for this country. We are, however, concerned by the timing of the hearing and call for the conclusion of cases before the inauguration of a new administration. This will provide focus for the administration and closure to the nation. May we state that it is important to note that aside the plaintiff's traditional to this case, this is also a trial for the Nigerian judiciary. Hence, the hearing must proceed in a manner that does not insult the sensibilities of Nigerians. Or drain the wheel of confidence in the judiciary. Issues such as double nomination by the APC vice presidential candidate, Alhaji Kashim Shettima, which contravenes the section 35 of the Electoral Act of 2022 as amended, should be addressed for what they are. An infringement on our laws are not passed off as lacking merit of consideration. Ordinary Nigerians will never be accorded such expediency as absolution. As Alhaji Shettima Kashim has broken the law, let him face the due punishment. In this case, a nullification of candidacy and loss of the president-elect status of the APC candidate. We understand that this case is neither ongoing or has been struck out by the courts. There should be no sacred cows. Finally, an enormous amount of youth energy was generated during the last election. This must not be allowed to be dissipated in anger, distrust, and hopelessness. We must endure to channel this energy into useful outcomes necessary for national growth and development. This is the guiding ideology of our over 40 days protest. We call on the judiciary through the judges of the Presidential Election Petition Court to be the voice of reason,
yes,
and save our democracy from collapse.
yes.
For if we allow the Professor Mahmoud's fraud of 1st March 2023 to subsist, we will be saying yes to the barrage of illegalities that will follow. Today is a new entry in our history.
Yes.
And like every other, throughout the duration of this hearing, we will pray for the reinvigoration of the Nigerian spirit. We call on the judges to uphold the integrity of the judiciary and let Nigeria win.
Yes.
Freedom cometh by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom cometh by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom cometh by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
We'll take 2 questions and we'll have respondents from the members of the Free Nigeria Movement. If there are questions, we will take it at this moment. In the absence of none, I think we have addressed almost everything that is required in our first statement. Therefore, we will rise to our feet and take the second stanza of the national anthem as our custom is. The second stanza of the national anthem of the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow and live in just and true. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign.
Bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
God bless free Nigeria movement.
God bless free Nigeria movement. God bless everybody here.
You can follow us on YouTube. Join us on YouTube at Daily Media News. 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 Join us on YouTube. We are going to be streaming live tomorrow. Join us on YouTube. Join us on YouTube. We'll be streaming live tomorrow. Join us on YouTube at Daily Media News. All right, that's all for today. Thank you.